afternoon and thanks for joining us. An investigation has been launched into the escape of an inmate who may have impersonated another offender at Saskatchewan Penitentiary. On February 20th, Keiston Custer, who was serving a 10-year sentence for manslaughter and other offenses, escaped from the penitentiary. An internal review suspects Custer may have pretended to be another inmate with the same last name who was scheduled to be released that day. The Correctional Service of Canada says it's working with the National Board of Investigation to look into this case and review what happened. Custer was arrested by Prince Albert Police on March 4th, has been placed in a heightened security level, and is facing additional charges related to his escape. A disciplinary investigation is also underway, and the employees involved in the release are on administrative leave pending the results of the investigation. Prince Albert Grand Council hosted a symposium to discuss the proposed development of a Prince Albert Grand Council police service. The Grand Council has been conducting a policing model study to examine what a regional police service for the Grand Council's 12 First Nations would look like in regard to funding and operations. Vice Chief Joseph Tassani says while proposed policing model may take more than a decade to set up, the Grand Council is laying the groundwork. Tassani adds having police in communities could help people with language barriers and shorten response times. One person was sent to hospital after being attacked in the Pleasant Hill neighborhood. Police were called just before midnight to the 400 block of Avenue S South for a person who had been assaulted with a bladed weapon at a nearby home. The victim was taken to hospital with multiple injuries described as non-life-threatening. Police don't know if the victim and suspect knew each other. The Saskatchewan NDP is expressing concerns about the availability of ambulance service in the province, especially in Regina. It made a Freedom of Information request for ambulance logs from last year. So far, the party has reviewed information for January of 2025 and found a day when ambulances could not respond to calls in a timely manner, something the NDP says is unacceptable.
So this was January of last year, and it showed that the hospitals, our ERs in Regina, were so backed up and there were so many ambulances waiting to offload patients that ambulances actually, had stopped picking up people in the city of Regina, and people were actually phoning back to cancel their 911 calls and requests for ambulances because they were tired of waiting and had decided to drive themselves to the hospital. This is absolutely shocking.
The SHA says it's committed to timely EMS service with an additional $14 million allocated in this year's budget to enhance EMS across Saskatchewan. And critics say the Saskatchewan Assured Income for Disability program is not keeping up with the cost of living. Wendy McCallum says her SED payments don't cover basic needs, and when shelters are full, she's left sleeping on the streets. NDP MLA Brittany Sanger says many recipients are in the same situation. She says people in major centres receive roughly $1,100 a month, while the average one-bedroom apartment in Saskatoon is $1,200.
Your basic allowance has to go towards the rent, otherwise you're not going to have anywhere to live. And then you're left hungry.
We need to ensure that everybody in Saskatchewan can afford to live. This is affecting the most vulnerable population. It doesn't even cover the cost of rent.
The province says it's increasing monthly income assistance benefits for SED recipients by 2% starting in May. Still snowing out there, Jeff. I'm almost kind of feeling like I'm in outdoor rink building mood. Probably not.
Probably not. Although those outdoor rinks that are out there that weren't too impacted by the warm weather we had will be staying frozen because temperatures are going to remain on the cold side of seasonal as we make our way into next week, and we are anticipating more snow in the early part of next week. But let's deal with the here and now. The storm system that is fairly widespread, across parts of central and southern Saskatchewan continues to make its way eastward. We are going to see a bit of a high pressure area eventually build in, a slight bump up in temperature, but maybe not as warm as we would like, and it won't be lasting that long. So we'll talk about that later on as well.
The city of Saskatoon may never be fully reimbursed for the damage done to overpasses over the last few weeks. City Council got an update on collisions at 4 different overpasses and a fire inside the University Bridge, which have all happened since March 5th. Repairs are estimated to cost nearly $900,000, but that doesn't include the rail overpass near Attridge Drive or the McKercher Drive overpass that were allegedly hit by the same driver Monday morning. The city says it's doing everything to recover costs for repairs, but doing so could be a lengthy process involving insurance claims or the courts. And there's no guarantee how much money will be repaid or how long it could take.
We've recognized this trend and we're all frustrated with the trend. We are dealing with insurance companies on a lot of these claims. And I don't know if anybody's experience of dealing with insurance companies goes as well as ours, but sometimes they are not amenable to paying the full cost of the claim.
When the 108th Street overpass on Circle Drive was hit in 2022, it took years for the city to get any money back, and it was less than the repair bill because it was a hit and run. Uranium mining company Paladin Canada was in Saskatoon today touting its Patterson Lake South project in the Athabasca Basin. The project in northwest Saskatchewan got approval from the Saskatchewan government for its environmental impact statement last month. The province says the mine will create more than 300 direct jobs and hundreds of additional positions throughout the local economy. The Patterson Lake mine site is about 150 kilometers north of La Loche.
We have a pretty shallow mine. We start encountering ore at about 50 meters below the surface, run down to about 300 meters. We got an ore body that we look at our reserves. We have a clear 10 years out in front of us once we start producing.
After getting approval from the provincial government last month, the Patterson Lake mine is on track to start producing in 2031. A longtime musician at a Saskatoon care home is calling it a career.
I get by with little help from my friends.
Residents at Sherbrooke Community Centre are saying goodbye to Wes Froese. After 20 years as Sherbrooke's musician and recreational coordinator, Froese is retiring. More than the music, though, it's the way he makes people feel. Froese knows everybody by name. A little thing that strikes a big chord with residents.
But every time I come by, he always waves and says, Brenda! And I love it. And I'm really, really gonna miss him.
Froese is known to dress up with everything from Dolly Parton to Snow White, and his spontaneity, his joy, will be missed the most. When we come back, safety tips as early spring still looks a bit like winter. Jasmine Pelche catches up with Lyle from Parkland Ambulance to talk slip and fall.
We are with Lyle from Parkland Ambulance to talk about some seasonal dangers. So we've had like a bit of a blizzard this week. What are some of the risks for, public safety when that kind of thing happens?
Well, first of all, we're roasty and toasty well indoors and not outside where it is icy and snowing, and winter just seems to not want to let go. But one of the things this winter we've noticed a lot of, Jasmine, is we've been plagued with lots of freeze thaw. So it gets nice and warm, so the snow melts, then it freezes, and we've got lots of ice. So we've had one of those winters where we've got a lot of freeze and thaw. Just that's the winter it's been. And so we've got lots of ice out there, and so it has made getting across the parking lot, say going to church, going shopping, even getting to your car or the garage, a challenge. And so we want to remind folks that if you haven't already invested in, they call them ice cleats or snow cleats. You can get them from a local store. You can order them online. Easy to slip onto your shoes, relatively inexpensive, and they will help to reduce the risk of you falling. I'm not going to say they're going to make absolute unless you go buy from, the ice cleats that guys who climb up ice climbing do. And I don't recommend you go buy those, obviously, for obvious reasons here in the city. But certainly, you want to make sure that you're safe. And we always come out with, you'll see on our social media channels, we tell people to walk like a penguin. And somebody asked me, what's that kind of like? Well, it's kind of that sort of wobbling back and forth like this, like a little penguin does, because it keeps the center of gravity centered. So you're not taking these big strides or running the risk of slipping and falling. The biggest thing that I can tell people if they do slip and fall is one, we are embarrassed and we want to get up right away. Okay, dust ourselves off and just go on with our way. Or our bystanders says, oh, let me help you, and they pick you up, all right? Stop for just, 30 seconds to a minute and do a few simple things. Like once you kind of get yourself upright, if you can, sitting in the snow, do some things like, can I move my wrist? Do my elbows move? Can I shrug my shoulders? Can I sort of lift one leg, flex my knees? We want to make sure you haven't hurt yourself. And that way, if somebody is helping you up or you're getting yourself up, you're not going to get, oh my gosh, I can't stand because, my back is out of whack or my hip is something, and you're not going to make something worse. If it is that bad, then obviously you got to call for help. Try to stay comfortable, keep calm. I know I've had my odd slip and fall out walking the dog. It's just inevitable. It's just, you try not to, but sometimes there's just no avoiding a slip or fall incident.
Why is a slip and fall incident so dangerous?
Well, outdoors, depending on the age of the person, it can be life-changing. For our seniors, we often talk about slip and falls at home. Sometimes if we slip and fall and we suffer, let's say, a hip fracture, and we're a little bit older, it takes longer for us to heal, or maybe things just don't go well with the healing process or the recovery, and now we're stuck with, well, I live in a 2-story house. How am I going to get up and down the stairs when now I have a walker? That's why slip and falls can be, as we say, life-changing, especially if you're an older person.
Any other seasonal safety tips?
Please be mindful of ice thickness, especially if you still cross over an ice surface in maybe our northern communities, or you are still ice fishing. Just watch as the temperature rises and falls, and with the extra snow, maybe the ice isn't as thick as it was. So do yourself a favor, check ice conditions, but as we get warmer temperatures, and gosh, I hope that's soon because we're all anxious for that springtime, just be mindful, slips and falls, ice conditions, and just those seasonal reminders are good. We still have lots of potential. I know there's been times where even on the May long weekend here in Saskatchewan we have snow. Let's hope we don't have that. But road conditions and ice conditions can change quickly in our part of the world. So please just be mindful to not get rid of the winter gear yet, but let's hope soon.
I hope you didn't jinx us for May long, but thank you for having me here.
I hope not either, but thanks very much, Jasmine. It's great to see you once again.
Jeff's got a look at weather, and that's coming up right after the break. And later, the cascading issues that arise due to a lack of a family doctor. Well, the one thing, or the one nice thing, Jeff, about a little bit of snow is it makes everything just a little quieter in the city. But how long is that blanket of snow going to linger?
Well, it looks like it's going to be sticking around for a while, John, because we are going to see a slight bump in temperatures tomorrow, but it's not long lasting, not long lived, as some people would say. So once we get past Friday, back into the weekend and next week, temperatures stay on the minus side of the thermometer, which is significantly below seasonal numbers for this time of late March and as we approach the beginning of April. And so, yes, we're keeping our eye on this system in Saskatchewan. This is going to continue to make its way across Manitoba into Ontario. Parts of Ontario, as we make our way into tomorrow evening, are going to be dealing with the risk of thunderstorms. I know, it's just a wacky situation. Once again, there's this huge heat dome down in the States with punishing heat. And then up north, we have the polar vortex and the two masses of hot air hitting cold air. We have this very energetic storm track that goes basically right along the northern states and southern Canada, and it is impacting a lot of the population, certainly of our country. And out in the west coast, might be in the next couple of days might be okay, but the rain will return for Sunday or possibly snow in some areas. So let's take a look at some more details for our neck of the woods. Futurecast and computer modeling indicating, that system gets out of the way, but we are keeping our eye on another system that may slide in towards our northern part of Saskatchewan. Right now, it looks like the winds winds are going to be on the moderate side, certainly picking up in the afternoon tomorrow, maybe wind gusts up around 40 kilometers an hour. So here we go for the overnight, and these are cold for this time of year. Minus 22 for Spiritwood, minus 20 in the Battlefords, minus 24 for Candle Lake, minus 23 in Birch Hills, Rostern, minus 22 in Nipawin and Melfort. And with these minus 20-degree temperatures, yes, the risk of frostbite is there. We're not done with old man winter quite yet, it appears. Minus 5 tomorrow for a high in Spiritwood, minus 2 in the Battlefords, minus 8 in Candle Lake, Birch Hills, and in Melfort, minus 7 in Rostern, minus 9 in Nipawin. Again, these are below seasonal temperatures, and we are dealing with mainly cloudy conditions throughout the region. Closer look and see what's going on in Prince Albert for tonight. Well, tonight, temperatures dropping down to a cold minus 24 degrees, winds out of the west at 10. So once again, a risk of frostbite is there. Still a pretty good chance of some flurry activity as we roll into this evening and into tomorrow, though. We'll have mainly cloudy skies, winds out of the southeast 20, gusting to 40. So that minus 7 degrees will feel colder at times with some bite from that wind. And now on to our 7-day forecast for the Gateway City. Minus 4 degrees on Saturday, close to that on Sunday, and really not varying all that much from that minus 3 or minus 4 degree mark as we make our way into next week. Monday, a pretty good chance of some flurries, or some, should say some snowfall. Now, right now, the numbers are saying maybe a couple of centimeters tops, but that could change depending on the track that snow system takes. Minus 3 on Tuesday, minus 2 on Wednesday, and still a chance of some flurries on Thursday. And it looks like a high of just minus 2 degrees. So that's, you know, probably a good 8 degrees below seasonal, if not warmer than that. Colder than that, yeah.
Yeah, not great. And if you're a hockey fan, probably not tailgate temperatures tomorrow, at least not yet, but hopefully.
Well, you know, it depends on how hardy you are.
There you go. But we got hopefully a few rounds that we can play with. There you go. Well, Jeff, it was a big night for the Saskatchewan Roughriders in Edmonton, receiving multiple awards at the Coach of the Year celebration. Riders head coach Corey Mace beat Montreal's Jason Moss for the Anis Stukas Award. Mace led the Riders to the best record in the CFL at 12-6, going on to win the franchise's 5th Grey Cup. He is the 8th Saskatchewan Roughriders coach to win Coach of the Year and the first since 2018. The Riders also won the first ever Ted Gavaya Football Operations Award. The honor takes into account scouting, player identification, roster building, and leadership.
Do you have a community event you would like to promote? Or maybe you'd like to draw attention to your organization. Let your local CTV station help you spread the word. Contact us at 306-922-6020 or email panews@ctv.ca. You can appear on CTV Prince Albert's News at 5 and get your message to our viewers.
As many Canadians are without a family doctor, simple issues like getting a doctor's note for extended absence from work becomes more complicated. Matt Grillo reports.
At 77 years old, Brian Williams is still working. In January, he hurt his shoulder while on the job and was ordered to be off work for 6 weeks. He started physio and was recovering, but before he could return to work, his boss needed a doctor's note.
Knowing he was off for about 6 weeks, knowing that he would have to have a doctor's note, it's like start now and hopefully within 2 or 3 weeks you'd get an appointment.
Brian and his wife Karen started looking for a doctor's appointment in early February. Both don't have a family doctor.
Since about the first week of February, we have called constantly every second day trying to get an appointment someplace. When you call, there's nothing available. Not even within 70 kilometers of our house.
The couple kept on trying. They went on Click Santé and repeatedly called 811.
One day we sat 24 hours and just kept with 2 telephones, a cell phone and a house phone, redialing. Then when we finally got through, they said, well, we'll call you within 72 hours.
I can't understand them to always say there's nothing available. There's nothing available. There's got to be something somewhere.
Earlier this week, an appointment opened up, and Brian got a doctor's note saying he could return to work after nearly 2 months of waiting.
On the other hand, they're wondering why the ERs are so overloaded. You have no choice. If you can't get an appointment there, what do?
So much frustration and stress. Brian says he just wants to put it behind him and get back to work. Matt Grillo, CTV News.
A first-of-its-kind surgery has been performed at Saskatoon's Royal University Hospital. The surgical team at RUH performed their first robotic epilepsy surgery on Monday using the newly installed robotic stereotactic assistance equipment known as ROSA. ROSA is a specialized robotic system that helps map out the brain to assist surgeons in pinpointing exactly where patients are experiencing seizures. The goal is to help healthcare professionals make better decisions for patients who previously could not be fully assessed in Saskatchewan and ultimately resulting in better treatment options. ROSA was purchased through a $1.2 million fundraising campaign by the RUH Foundation, which included a donation of $700,000 from the Belcher family. ROSA has been renamed Erin in honor of Merlis Belcher's granddaughter.
Brought to you by Saskatchewan Union of Nurses. Thank you to Saskatchewan's 11,000 registered nurses.
All right, Jeff, time for some LEDs and some really high-quality imaging because the annual Festival of Lights has returned to Croatia. The event is meant to be timed with the spring equinox and mark the transition from winter to longer days and warmer weather. One of the installations is a tram filled up with lit-up balloons. The festival is organized as a continuous walking route linking 26 installations across 21 locations. I don't know about the walking through the door frames, but like that's pretty cool. Some of these
very
are,
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, when I look at some of these, that looks like to me someone's looking at a gigantic TV screen, but I think that's being projected onto a wall.
I think you're right. I think we see, and it looks like they're trying to manipulate it as well. Yeah, there's some amazing installations in many places. Okay, we have the Festival of Trees here.
We got that here for sure. Yeah.
So
But sometimes it's nice to see those crazy things appear on the walls of a building you recognize. National news is coming right up.